watching my Dodger fitted, playing all go, ain't no stopping in it. Look, salute when you see me. I bought her a CC and that was her purse. Disgusting with do for a purse, disgusting with do for the clout. I'm one of the realest, the realest can vouch. They thought I was done, but all that out, you gotta pay my next around. Salute when you see me. Put in the car to my runner gets you speedy. Still thugging like the days when they weren't here in my CD. Made it out of the trenches. Just salute when you see me. Yeah, salute when you see me. I'm getting greedy, I blow the whole budget on me, that's on me, I'm conceited. Streety, nah, that ain't how we treat it. This right here sound like a three-peat. I put this in, it sound like I'm knee-deep, I'm like, oh, you too needy. Me and HB going Juvie and BG, they gotta put my face on the box of Wheaties. I'm praying for whoever think they compete. Salute when you see me. That's all he ever, so that's how you greet me. I'm going TM 101 cheesy, and plus they got D2 on repeat. I'm with the love of my life for like 3 weeks, cause that's all I needed. She wanna go on a trip and retreat, but I'm sorry, I never retreated. I set the bar so high that you might as well leave it. I'm going undefeated, I've broken the system. Had to breach it, that's mission impossible, mission completed. Salute when you see me.
Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Washington football team. Season is hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. They go play action. Mayfield. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. Always got some breathing room. And he is finally taken down, but not before he gets it to the Eagles' 36-yard line. A big pickup there on the run. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
He's got Turner, and he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. And that last throw right there putting him already over 3,000 passing yards now for the campaign.
And given where we are in the season, Brandon, you have to think to yourself, if he stays healthy, I think 4,000's a given. I think 5,000 is not out of the question if he stays hot.
Opening minute, and already a trip to the red zone. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Pitching it out to Gibson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And Washington takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. converts, and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 16. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Jamin Davis there to bring him down. I tell you what, CD, this Washington defense, very strong in the victory last week.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. So a nice catch right there. And this receiving core, without their number 1 wideout, keep that in mind. He's inactive this week, though it shouldn't be a long-term absence.
And I would think, partner, that this is where an offensive coordinator believes he can solve the problem by spreading the ball around. Because anytime you lose your number 1 guy, it's obviously a blow to your offense. But it's also an opportunity to say, hey, they can't focus on trying to stop one guy. Keep spreading it around. The last part, each one of those receivers, they believe they're the number 1 guy, and they're ready to step up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. So, CD, you talk about this football team. Some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hint at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely. But that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that, talk. I mean, guys often say, that's it, I'm out of here. And then they realize, I'm not ready to retire yet. What am I going to do now? And they're really ready to come back and dive back in. In fact, we got guys who are wearing gold jackets in the Hall of Fame that talked about retirement the last 6-7 years of their careers. So that's not always real. And sometimes you just have to go ahead and ride it out. And this is an opportunity now for everyone in this locker room to move forward.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They'll try and throw for it here. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get...
Touchdown, Washington. Chris Godwin, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And Washington able to come up with a quick strike touchdown. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they were winners the last time they took the field, which was 2 weeks ago. They had the open week last week, so this is a squad that should be really refreshed and ready to roll.
I would agree, because when you get that open week after a victory, it does wonders for everyone. Obviously, your body, get a chance to heal up, but your mind as well. You feel good about winning, so now you can get away from it for a few days, put down the playbook, turn off the film. Just be you. Enjoy that.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Chase Young. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Second and 20. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts. Dancing to his left. And now he'll let this one go deep. Back over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. On fourth down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now Mayfield lost the football. And I think the offense is going to keep possession. Yes, they are. But they're backed up now at their own 2-yard line. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you've got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Out of his end zone, Mayfield. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. A huge play there for Washington.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3-and-out. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Mayfield now from the 50. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
He'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. Forced out to his left. That's going to be caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
Gibson is in. Touchdown, Washington. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? And turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
Working with a 2nd and 3. Throwing is Hurts. Over the middle to Smith.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Sanders toss left side. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the end. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Montez Sweat in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. It hurts not coming to the sideline. They're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. There he goes inside the 30. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield. and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Hassan Reddick gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. The job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. Looking left side, and it's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this third quarter. Taking it about the 1. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race.
Go time, baby.
Touchdown, Philadelphia. The CD, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs. And that one certainly fell into the latter category. And that deserves a couple exclamation points.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, What was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates, they're looking at you. And let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to him. That's not how football works. But he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. First down, Mayfield. And Thomas has it. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Mayfield's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read.
Evades the tackler, and now some space. Still fighting for more. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big play that time on the catch and run.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And again, it's Mayfield. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Logan Thomas, his third touchdown now on the year. And Washington going to add on to their lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
So up comes Mayfield as his guys will go for 2. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He's at the 40. The 20. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Eagles. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Hey, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And the Eagles are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
3 yards the gain there, second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
To throw again on second down. Hurts. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him?
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Hurts. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brown. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. From the gun, it's Hurts. Fighting to stop, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And last time, 1 play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
Once more, Gibson. They find some open field here. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
He's brought down at the 31. It's a gain of 20. And the Washington first down.
And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Mayfield going to keep it on the option. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 90 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run with Gibson. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be second and goal coming up.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Baker Mayfield keeping it himself from a yard out. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. But that's certainly an important touchdown there. It makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. And they're able to get this one across the 35. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
At the 34-yard line.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Quick slant here to Smith. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 15-yard line. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Oh, and a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. He will find Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Elliott good with a PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This taken in at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
First down, Washington.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. On 2nd and inches, Mayfield slings this deep from McLaurin. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his 11th touchdown of the year. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Mayfield going to try to throw for the 2. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack. And they fail on the try for 2. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Elliott good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. Here's Gibson to start the drive. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll go again with Gibson. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll run with Gibson. And Gibson looking for some kind of opening, but he has none. They rally up to stop him short of the marker.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Mayfield. Thomas brings it in. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And not a good return here at all, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from it.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 26. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along.
He's got a man complete, and he takes it all the way down to the 32. A huge play there for Washington.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. But good hands there defensively. And second down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Mayfield off the play fake. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play. So it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about